A very good evening to you traders. This is Mark. I will keep this one brief. I hope you had a great weekend. Of course, we had the Sunday night Italian referendum. They, or should I say, the Italians voted no. It was it was expected, but we still got a bit of a sell-off. We've got a bit of a sell-off. I'll get to the reversal in a moment. That's the big point. We got a bit of a sell-off, and it was very systematic. But you know what? It wasn't brutal. It wasn't the same as Brexit. It wasn't the same as the Trump. I know we got reversal on Trump after, but it was very brutal. That selling was very brutal. So even though the short trade was the right trade, and I was short quite early on in the move, just because it was systematic, it was flowing, it was moving down. Well, they're saying that the spread bettors were widening the spread to like 4 or 5 pips at some point, which for Euro US dollar is pretty extreme. And I remember thinking, this isn't so great. You know, you're giving back 5 or 10% of your profit here, and you're getting a good move. Anyway, I'm not going to run through each of the trades on this. I want to discuss about the just the general way we changed and little clues. Now, the biggest clue for me was two clues, and they're completely different clues, but they tell a story. Number one, when the US futures opened, we had a little bit of an algo party. The book was obviously thin, not many people trading it because the spread was wide. Well, people were trading it, but the liquidity was less, should I say, in euro than it is normally. And we had this sort of strange spike up. But what is telling about this is that it didn't continue. You know, a genuine spike would carry on, hold, and push higher. We came straight back down into here. And at this point, this is when I added actually more to my short, because this is telling me something. It's giving me information that, you know what, we have not attracted any buyers up here. The selling is not done yet. Now, imagine you can't see this at this point in time. You're just watching this, and it's holding at lows. You've come down a long, long way. It's attempted to spike up, whether it's an algo fat finger or whether it's a little fishing expedition, whatever, and then it's rolled back over again. It's telling you something, is that sellers are perceiving that as value, and they're hitting it straight away. The minute after it, the second minute after it, third, fourth, okay, a little bit of ups, but they're straight back on it. The minute after that, straight back to the lows, holding at lows, and it's driving right down to here. Sellers still interested through the lows, still interested. Right, so all the way up to there, you can see that sellers are interested. Any little pop-up, they're interested. Any big spike, they are definitely interested. They undo the spike in 2 minutes. So there's no reason, if you're short, there's no reason to cover. If you're long, you don't want to be long. If you're flat, you don't want to be looking for longs just yet. You want to be waiting until the tide turns. Now, this is really going to look like Harry hindsight here, but the tide turned when the Prime Minister came out, and in fact there was a couple of things. Number one, we had the low at 105.18. I remember it because I was watching it like a hawk, looking to cover as we came through it. So that was here, and if we roll back, let's move on to a 15-minute. If we roll back, we can see exactly what that's all about. Why is this messing me about here? Okay, you can see why exactly that was the level, and it's almost bang on. It was the low from 2 weeks ago. It was that low, and there was a lot of people I thought were going to have stops underneath that. Beyond that, let's go to a 60. Beyond that, we had some more. In fact, no, let's go to a daily because it's on that longer term chart from several years. We've got this ultimate low. We've got 1.005, and then below that we've got this low here. Okay, so those are the ultimate targets. Those are like a shorter's dream. I'm rubbing my hands now thinking about it. You know, you're short. You've got a lovely cushion in. You're waiting, and I'm just waiting for that flush. I'm thinking I'm good position here. I'm nicely loaded up. I've added to the position on aggressively as it's rolled over. You know, be calm and sensible. Calm, not never uncalm when I'm trading. If you are, but as a side note, if you ever get not calm, you need to dial down the position immediately. But you know, stick with the plan. Come out as we come into here, which is that key low, the 18 we talked about, and then hold it looking for a further flush that might get a bit of momentum. We've got no liquidity, don't forget. It's Sunday night. You've got all the ingredients for a perfect short flush. It's a bear's best friend, and it just set up beautifully for it. But do you know what? The tide turned when the Prime Minister said he would resign here. Yeah, exactly here. Now, normally, that's just perfect. You're getting the extra boost. The news is rubbish. It's going to hammer it through the low. You're right on those key levels. You're going to go through the whole number there. You're going to get momentum. You've got that other other further low from way back, many months ago, to go through all those stops under there. It's a perfect storm, and I'm sitting there salivating thinking this is perfect. You've covered a bit as you were going to. Now hold the position. But when the Prime Minister came out and said he's resigning and the market went up, you've got to pay attention to that. You've just got to. You can't sit there blindly and say, hang on, this is in a worse position than it was literally 10 seconds ago, or sorry, 5 minutes ago, whatever, and yet we're up 50 pips from the low, or 30 pips, whatever it may be. That is telling you something, just like it was telling you something here when the market went up and came down straight away. The worst news came out. Everyone feared that he would resign and it would cause all sorts of turmoil, put Italians into a bit of a mess, whatever offset or whatever knock-on effect it's going to have in Europe. But yet the market didn't go lower. You have to pay attention to that. Covering my shorts, getting out, ditching it, reassessing. There's still room. If it was a little bit of a fake out and goes lower again, there's still time to take a breakout. I do not mind taking a breakout when we're news driven and we're liquid and it's loads of good stuff. But in hindsight, it was a really good thing to do. And it looks like it really doesn't look like a hindsight exit, but I'm just giving you the reasons why. Conjunction with the news that came out, conjunction with the price action relative to the news. That's the key point. I'm not interested in news per se, but I want to know. I know if the news is bad or good and how the price is reacting to it. That's the key thing. And then the rest is history. And we could go on about all today's stuff, but I just wanted to focus on this kind of chunk, because it was so related to news. It was so related to the after hours type of trade. It was so related to the illiquidity and the really key thing, which it could have been an absolute gem of a trade. It was a good trade, but it was nowhere near as good as it would have been if we really had cascaded through those lows, which I think perhaps that may be added to fuel for the upside. A lot of people like me were sitting with it. A lot of hedge funds perhaps were sitting with it. I know that I think was it Deutsche Bank came out and said they were short from further up. Maybe they were looking to take a bit off as we flush through the low there and reassess. Perhaps it wasn't just me waiting for it. And of course, when we got the news came out and it was positive, everyone's scrambling for cover. Maybe not as aggressive as me coming out right at the lows, but when we unwound and went again, that probably what caused this push rally up. Anyway, I'm speculating a bit there. Anyway, guys, hope you had a great trading day. Not fantastic, but it's good enough. I feel lucky that Brexit, Trump and the Italian referendum have been good. We've got loads of more catalysts coming up, and I think it's not a bad thing to specialise in. Not maybe trading the actual news, but perhaps afterwards, because there's plenty of opportunity the following day as well. So take care, guys. Keep the risk managed. Back with another video soon. Goodbye.